Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome to another quick shot review. This week's review is The Marvels by Marvel Studios, owned by Disney. It is the 255th podcast movie review that I've done for the channel, Quick Shot Review. So thank you very much for keeping with me and perhaps listening to the podcast on podcasting channels as well. So The Marvels 2023 film. It's a 12A and it comes in at 1 hour and 45 minutes rather, not 45 seconds long. And it follows Carol Danvers on the back of the Ms. Marvel film, which I say on the back of, which I think it was about 5 years previous. So people have kind of forgotten who this character is. I think her last appearance was in Endgame, which was a film that was released a long time ago, before I even got the job that I'm doing now, as well as this. So the official blurb is Carol Danvers gets her powers entangled with those of Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau, forcing them to work together as a team to save the universe, of course. And along the way, you get to meet Kamala Khan's family, who are supposed to be the comic relief, and are just not very funny. Obviously, they do try and make you feel for Captain Marvel or Carol Danvers, because she's out in space on her own with a pet cat who has a little surprise, which was definitely the most entertaining part. And of course, Monica Rambeau, who was just a child when Captain Marvel went to save the universe and lost her mom to a fatal disease. So yeah, there's a lot to unravel here, but it just, unfortunately, I'm just going to get straight to the point. It goes the same way as most superhero movies do. Hey, look at me, I've just had a big fight. I'm going to sort of try and make it better, but I can't. And the villain is going to do something which you see straight away before it even starts. And then there's going to be another battle, and we're going to lose that first battle, only to come back at the end and win. Sound familiar? Yeah, it's very familiar. It's cookie cutter, and no matter how many different directors they get to do these Marvel films, I think for me they've run their course, simply because they're all pretty much exactly the same. And Nia DaCosta's version of the Marvels is no different. We do get Samuel L. Jackson in this film as well, and we get to explore other worlds. But I always see a superhero movie. A superhero is only as strong as the villain they're fighting. And the villain in this one, the motivation is not great. He's supposed to. There's supposed to be a soft spot for this villain, and there isn't. It's just not great. It's not very good at all for me. That being said, as I always say to people, it's your choice. Go and see the film if you really want to see the film. Wait for it to come out on streaming, or do whatever that you fancy in terms of watching the films that you want to see. Sorry, not Miss Marvel. It's Captain Marvel was the film, and it was released indeed in 2019. So near 5 years ago, certainly before COVID. And yeah, this is yeah, it's not good. There are some little bits and points here and there, but apart from that, it's just Marvel. You can and should be doing better. I think the market is just oversaturated with streaming service, um, programs and movies. I mean, Marvel have released how many movies this year? I can't even keep up with them. As well as, like I say, the stuff that's on the streaming service. And the day that, and this is how it feels for me now. I can't go and see a Marvel movie without feeling like I have to do a load of research, or basically what is homework first, and watch a load of other stuff that I don't particularly want to watch in order to get a film, enjoy a film. And I think that for me is the issue. You have to, in order to get this film, you can't just come into it. You have to have watched a lot of the stuff that's on the streaming service of said name, and starts with D and ends in Isney. And you just have to have seen a load of stuff. WandaVision, to find out how Kamala Khan got her powers, for example. And I've not watched any of those. I've picked that up from doing my research, etc., on the film. But yeah, you shouldn't have to feel like you have to watch a load of other stuff in order to be able to watch and enjoy a movie. That just shouldn't be the case. And that is the case now with Marvel. I don't often rant on this channel, but I do feel that Marvel need to take a step back. Disney need to stop oversaturating the market with these things, and they need to be more precise in what they release going forward, because they are in real danger of crashing and burning. This movie, for example, is considered a flop, simply because, if I can find it, they spent, budget-wise, $220 million on this film. The worldwide gross was $208,974. That means they made a loss of $20 million plus. Says everything you need to know. And that's the worldwide gross. That's not just the opening weekend. The opening weekend was only 46 million. Sounds like a lot, but when you've spent 220 million on a film, ain't great. Not great at all. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Marvels and Marvel films in general. Obviously, I'm going to keep watching them as they come out, because they're still popular films, and you know, there may be a hidden diamond in the rough, so to speak, going forward. But I can't recommend this. That being said, if you want to go and see it, and it is still out in cinemas, please do. Nothing stopping you from doing that at all. And on that note, I'm going to leave you there, and I will say thank you very much for listening to my rant, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.